In this video, we're gonna talk about the two things that transformed my confidence and made me who I am today. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't see many fucking YouTubers talk about what I'm gonna talk about in this video, and I'm gonna go fully in depth, like with what I tried, because I have tried every single self-improvement tactic in the fucking world. These are the only two things that have worked in my life that would truly transform my confidence and made me who I am today. So this is gonna be one of the realest videos I've ever made, and I'm actually really excited to share this with you now. So I was honestly, all my life, when I was younger, I was addicted to personal growth. I was addicted to self-improvement because I hated the way I was. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't confident. I couldn't start conversations with anybody. I was always like teased, made fun of. I looked fucking horrible. I didn't care about myself. I was a fucking mess when I was younger. And my vision was I wanted to be the guy that could start a conversation with anyone and just be really confident. I wanted to just love the way I look. I wanted to just be the guy that was so like charismatic and so like just full of life that if I were like to walk in a room, I could talk to anybody and I wouldn't care what they thought of me. I just wanted to be that person. You know those actors you see in those movies where they're just like really fucking confident. They seem to be like this go-lucky type of guy where they just didn't give a fuck about what anyone thought of them. They looked fucking amazing. That's what I wanted. So after years and years and years of me trying every self-improvement tactic and just trying to become that person, there's only two things that worked for me, because I failed so much with the other tactics because I thought they would work and they didn't. And there's only two fucking things that worked for me. So I'm gonna go dive deep into the first thing right now that truly transformed me to who I am today. So number one is gonna be the fitness side. Let me tell you this right now. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, if you don't like the way you look, if you think you're ugly, if you don't think you're attractive, this is a big fix we need to do right now, okay? So there's two sides to this. One, you could be really skinny and you could be insecure about your body, which is what I was. I was really skinny. I had no muscle on me. I had poofy hair. I just looked like a fucking nerdy kid, okay? So the number one thing that helped me was one, I built 15 to 20 plus pounds of muscle. You don't need anything more than that. When I was younger, I thought you had to be like really fucking jacked. I'm talking like a fucking Greek god physique for you to have confidence. That is not the case. And to be honest with you, if you do that, if you don't want to be a bodybuilder and you do that, you're just going to be impressing other guys. So you don't need a physique like that to be attractive. You can achieve this goal within 1 to 2 years of lifting by itself, okay? And when you have that, you are gonna look 10 times fucking better than you are just being really skinny, okay? So the first thing is, we wanna build 15 to 20 plus pounds of muscle. And if you do this strategically, like you're gaining weight and you're gaining muscle, without gaining too much fat, that's the sweet spot. That's the key to this. Because what I did is basically, when I first started strength training, I got really fat my first 6 months because I was focusing so much on the scale and the number and just me having to gain so much weight. I made a video on this, and it's gonna be 1 or 2 videos below where it says your weight on the scale doesn't matter. I recommend you watch that if you're trying to bulk up. However, if you build 15 to 20 plus pounds of muscle and then you stay lean, like you look lean, you have veins, you have a fucking six pack, you will be much more appreciative about the way that you look and what you see in the mirror than when you don't have these two things. And these are the two things that truly transform me and my fitness side for me to appreciate the way I like in the mirror. Now, let me tell you this. That's only the first aspect. When you like what you see in the mirror, it will make you confident. It will make you like yourself more. However, before I even get to this side, because I think this side is more important, last thing is be active when you're doing the fitness side, okay? By being active, just go on walks or do some sort of cardio. Just make sure you're active because we want you just to overall have good health, have good heart health, and just be a healthy person, because all of this just goes hand in hand, all right? When you build your first 20 pounds of muscle, you stay lean doing it too, and you're just active, you have the fitness side down. And again, this doesn't have to be as hard as it has to be, okay? Just gain a little bit of weight per week, get really fucking strong in the gym, and just stay active. Go rock climbing, do yoga, go walking, go running. When you do this, you are gonna have that fitness side aspect just in your life down, and I guarantee you when you do this, you will feel better, you will look better, and this is half the equation of making you the more of a confident person you want to become. Now, this part of the video, I don't see anyone fucking talk about, and this is what truly transformed me to be who I am today. If you just focus on fitness, it won't make you confident. However, there's other people that like me that you need more than that to be confident. This didn't just work for me, okay? Now, you could be really good looking, you could be really attractive looking, but if you do not carry yourself well, if you're not comfortable in your own skin, if you don't have good subcommunications, you have bad energy, you just don't have good vocal tonality, you have bad body language, none of that shit will matter. Because if you meet somebody, so let me give you an example of this. Let's say someone comes to talk to you, and that person is really closed off. He has horrible body language. He has like this weird energy, like this needy energy. Like he or she really wants you to like them, right? Bad vocal tonality. What are you gonna think of that person? Are you gonna want to engage with that person? Do you really want to be friends with that person? Or are you just kind of like, get away from me? Or are you just thinking about leaving? This is called subcommunications. This is active 24-7, no matter what. You are gonna be like signaling this no matter who you meet, no matter where you are, okay? And that's the second part of the video. It's called subcommunications. If you are aware of how your non-verbals are, like your body language, your energy, your vibe, this is what truly transformed me to be the most confident version of myself today. Because it's not about like the content, it's not about what you say, it's like how you say it. It's not about like you saying the perfect things, or like, it's about you having good body language, not being closed off, okay? Literally around 90% of your fucking communication is all about your nonverbals, about just who you are and the way that you carry yourself. Because yes, fitness can help you with this, it like adds on to this, but if you're not aware of this, then then you won't get the full aspect of you becoming the confident person you've always wanted to become. Okay, so let's dive deep into this. There's a lot when it comes to subcommunication. This video would be over an hour long if I talked about everything, because I researched the absolute shit out of it, and I'm going to talk about the most important ones that if you master these, you will be golden when it comes to be confident and like the way that you look. So let's go to the first one. Body language. When you have good body language, that it is way more important to have better body language than you having like an amazing like fucking, let's say you have like a speech, right? You have this like amazing script in your head that you're gonna say to someone, and you think that person's gonna like you. Just for an example, if you have horrible body language, you have needy body language, or you're just really closed off, that is gonna say more about who you are as a person than no matter what that fucking thing you're gonna say in your head. Okay, your body language is everything when it comes to communication, when it comes to just anything in life. People look at your body language more than they do with what you say. Okay, so like an example of this, have you ever seen like a fucking guy in a bar when he's like talking to a girl and he's like leaning in, he's being really needy with his body language, and he's just giving her like all the attention, like he really needs her to like her? It's the same exact thing. Your body language tells you so much more about who you are as a person than anything that you say. So how do we have like better body language or good body language? Well, let me ask you this. You already know what good body language looks like. Ask yourself, what is bad body language? Well, you're closed off. You're leaning in so much, you really want that person to like you. You're not like comfortable with you're like really like timid, right? You take less space and you take more space. So what's good body language? Good body language means you're open, you're relaxed, you like who you are. Your movements are slow. You're not so fidgety all the time. You're priding. You just like who you are. That is what good body language is. So this is what we gotta do. We have to be aware of this. So next time you're like sitting at a public place, right, where you're like really scared of what people think about you, just be more open than you naturally are. Don't be so closed off. Don't be so fidgety when you're in those public spaces. Just be relaxed, be open, be like comfortable with who you are. And again, it's easier to say this and actually do this, but you need to be aware of how your body is, how your body language is. Okay, maybe when you're walking, you walk really fast because you just want to avoid people. Walk slower than you usually do. Be comfortable just who you are, okay? So good body language, you're more open, you're priding, you're just happy with who you are, and you're slowed and controlled with your movements than you being fidgety. That's body language, okay? So, and then last thing I want to say about body language, when you're talking to somebody, don't be so needy with your body language. Stop like leaning in so much. Just lean back a little bit, be relaxed, be present. When you are present in the moment, you will have natural good body language when you're not stuck in your head. So just breathe in, lean back, have open body language, don't be so closed off, and just relax. And your body language will take care of itself, okay? Number 2, the way that you speak, your tone. How you say something is far more fucking important than what you say. Imagine that you're talking to somebody and they're coming up to you and they're super like, they have this like really pleasing tone, like hi, how are you? Like that pleasing tonality, right? You want to avoid this always having this submissive tone, because in my reality, the way that I see it, when you have like the really high submissive tone, you are putting that person above you, like on the worth scale. And in reality, on a worth level, you are the same as that person. So you want to treat them the same as you would anyone else. So instead of having like a really submissive tone, be neutral. Speak like say, hi, how are you? Say, hi, how are you? Like have a neutral tone. You're treating the person as the same worth level as you, because they're not better than you and they're not less than you. All right, this goes for everybody. When you're meeting anyone and you perceive that person to be higher status than you, knock that shit out of your fucking head, because they are the same worth level as you. They're a human being. No matter the money they have or the cars they have, doesn't fucking matter. You are the same worth level, so you want to treat them the same, and this will come off. So when it comes to your tone, that's one of the parts. You want to be neutral when you're talking to somebody. And the second part, when it comes to that, is, are you interesting? When you're talking, do people like to listen to you, or are you monotone? 2 years ago, when I worked at LA Fitness, I was in the front desk, and there was a guy that worked with me, and he was telling me a story about something with his old job, right? However, he was telling me the story, and for like 10 minutes in, I just wanted to fucking leave. I literally was like, can you please like stop talking? And I was kind of an asshole for thinking this, but this is why I thought this. He kept talking in a monotone voice. He never changed his tonality. He was talking like this, and he didn't know how to express his emotions. I didn't even know what the fuck he was saying. He kept talking in that same monotone, boring voice. And when our natural human brain, when you talk in that monotone voice, you will naturally just tune the fucking person out. You don't want to listen to them anymore. And it's not our fault that we do this, because it's the way that our brain is wired. If we talk in the same tone and we don't change the way that we speak, we're going to tune that person out. So what do? When you're talking to somebody, you want to speak up, down, like a wave. It's like a wave. You speak louder, quieter, faster, and then slower, like a wave. That is literally the key when it comes to speaking. You just change your tone. It looks like this. So you're just going up, down, like a wave. So you speak louder at times and you speak quieter. You speak faster and then you speak like not as fast. You just go with the tone. You don't have to be so like perfect about this, but when you're aware of this and you wonder why people don't listen to you, this might be the reason why, because of the way that you speak, your tone. So if you speak to someone in a neutral voice, you're not submissive and you're not like being an asshole towards them, like fuck you, like none of that, like you're being neutral, and you have a good tone, like you're just always changing the pitch of your voice, that will signal that you carry yourself really well and that you are confident, okay? Now, the next thing, energy. I honestly think this is probably the most important one out of all of them. If you have a bad energy about yourself, or like a bad vibe when you meet somebody, they will not want to be with you. They will not want to talk to you. They don't want to be friends with you. They want to get away from you. You need to have good energy when you talk to people. And overall, you need to have good energy about yourself. That fitness will help you with this. When you just like who you are, you like what you see in the mirror, you just like the person you're becoming, you're naturally gonna have good fucking energy, because 99% of the people, I'm gonna be real with you right now, because when I'm outside in a public space, people don't look like they like their lives. People look so monotone. They don't like They look just depressed all the time. And that comes off when we're human beings. When we see that, like, that can rub off on you. So we want to be the people that love our life, that are excited of what we're becoming, excited of the person we're becoming, and excited about what we're going to achieve. So how can we do this? One, you like who you are. You like the person you're becoming. You're not so like upset. You're not taking life too seriously. So when it comes to energy, start getting that body that you want. Start becoming the person. Start liking the way that you look. And then two, you know what goes hand in hand with energy? A vision. When I say vision, you want to have these goals in your life that you want to achieve that are so important to you. What do I mean by this? When you have this fucking vision, you see your life going somewhere and you're just excited to go to that, that is the number one most energy hack I've ever had in my life. Because when you are excited about life, people see this, people feel this, and they want to be around you more. And that's another thing, again, that will transform your confidence. This has nothing to do with money. You don't have to have like a money goal when it comes to this. It could be anything. Is it like you wanting to learn to play a new instrument? You want to be really fucking good at playing the piano. That could be a vision for yourself. Is it you with fitness? Do you want to have an amazing body? Like, do you really care about your fitness journey? That's another vision. Or it could be your career. Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Do you want to become a really big YouTuber? That could be your vision. Your vision is literally, here's a hack to this. Imagine, I'll take out a notebook for this. Imagine no one in the fucking world knows who you are, gives a fuck about you, and like they won't judge you, okay? If that were the case, what would you want your life to be like in 5 years or 10 years? What would you want? What would you have want to achieve, right? Like imagine if that scary thing that's stopping you, but because you're afraid of what people think about you. If that wasn't the case, what would your life want? What would you want in life? That is going to be your ultimate vision. Okay, for me right now is that YouTube channel. I want to help men just overall look better, feel better, and overall be the most confident version of themselves. Okay, so that's my vision right now. Another vision of mine is I do want to learn how to play an instrument in the future. That's one of my other vision I'm working towards, right? But my main vision, my old vision was fitness. I was so obsessed with getting a better body, and this was my main vision for a little bit. So that could be another example, right? But again, right now, my main vision is just overall getting really better, getting good at speaking, like on camera, or maybe on stage in the future. And my main vision is overall helping as many people just change their lives, make them better, make them enjoy, like make them actually like their body, make them more confident, and overall just like who they are. That's my main vision too. And see, when you have this vision, it transforms you. It makes you into a better person. Overall, it changes your fucking energy when you're interacting with someone else, okay? So these go hand in hand. Have a vision for your life. What does that want to be? It could be anything. Just take some time to think about it. And you won't feel so excited about that vision when you first start. But when you start attacking that fucking vision day by day, you will have momentum and it'll start to just transform you into fucking accomplishing that goal, okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is carefreeness, okay? We live in a society now where people are so scared of what people think about them, right? Like, what does he think about me? What does she think about me? Are they judging me? Are they making fun of me? Let me tell you some truths about this, okay? I made a few videos about this, but I'm gonna, fuck it, we're gonna talk about it again. There was a story, you know what? I'm gonna tell a whole new story. I usually tell the same story, it's gonna be a new one. There's 3 oranges on a tree, okay? And these 3 oranges are best friends. They love each other. They've been friends all their lives, okay? Now, one of the oranges, he used to be, this kind of orange was really charismatic. He was really funny. He was so nonchalant with what people thought about them, right? But he was one of the oranges in the group that, again, loved life. However, that orange started to have a dark spot on the outer layer, okay? And when he noticed that dark spot on him, that orange was super sad. He was insecure. He was afraid of what people were going to think about them. He was just overall, his mood went down and he just wasn't the same orange as he used to be. Then the other 2 oranges looked at that orange and he goes, what's wrong with you? Like, you seem so down. Why are you so upset? Like, what's going on with you? And the orange is like, I don't want to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no, come on, what's going on with you? And the orange is like, okay. I have this dark spot on my skin and I don't know what to do with it. And the two oranges are like, what dark spots? And he's like, look right here. Look at the dark spot. And they go, where? And he goes, right here. And they go, oh, that dark spot? Like, we didn't even fucking notice that until you told us that. Like, who gives a shit about that dark spot? And then that orange felt better. Again, lived life, happily ever after. And he became charismatic. He became really funny. What's the fucking point of the story? That dark spot that you have, 99% of the people won't even notice it. Like, no one notices your insecurities. It's just you. So when you whatever you're most insecure about, you don't have to be, because when people look at you, they don't want you to be like the worst version of yourselves, because when you have good body language, you have good tone, you like the way that you are, you have amazing energy, your insecurities don't matter. You can have a big nose. I have a fucking big nose. Like, again, no one notices that. No one gives a shit. So whatever that dark spot is for you, 99% of the people aren't even going to notice it. Okay? So that's one aspect to it. Another aspect is called the spotlight effect. There was a study done I don't know the exact college it was, but if I were to look at my notes, I could tell you. But this researcher had a kid wear a really fucking bright, like, ugly shirt of Barely Manilow. Okay? It was a super fucking ugly shirt. And he told that kid to go into the class and just go to the lecture and just sit there and come back out when the lecture's done, okay? So when he wore that ugly fucking shirt and he walked into that class, when he walked out, the researcher asked the kid, what was the percentage of the class that you think noticed you wearing that shirt? He gave me a number. I think the number he said was like 50 to 60%, maybe even higher, right? So the researcher fucking literally interviewed every kid that walked out of that class and asked them, what did you notice the kid wearing that shirt? And less than 20% of the kids said no. And the ones that did notice it, they said they barely even gave it a few seconds of thought. What's the point of that story? We assume that more people are thinking about us than they actually are. We assume that people are judging us, making fun of us, or always just thinking about us than they actually are. But in reality, no one is fucking thinking about you because they're thinking about themselves. Doesn't this mean that you can truly be who you are and truly just be comfortable in your own skin? Because if people aren't judging you, if people aren't making fun of you, if people don't give a fuck about you, and the ones that do, by the way, don't even give you a few seconds of thought, that means you could be your most authentic self. So with that sport, you have the dark spot and the spotlight effect. When you combine those two, you become more carefree. And when you don't give a fuck what people think about you, this literally amplifies all of this. Everything that we just talked about. It amplifies your energy, it amplifies your body language, it amplifies your fucking everything. Your tone. When you just stop caring so much about what people think of you, you become more powerful. You become a new you. This was the biggest thing that took me a while to work on. Not having people not give a fuck about me. I'm gonna make a whole fucking video about carefreeness because there's so many strategies that help me in my life to have this. So when you're living your life, do the thing that scares you, because the people that judge you, by the way, if anyone ever does judge you, it has more to do with that person than it ever does about you. It's more about their insecurities than it is about yours, okay? So one, that's number one. And two, when you have that dark spot, are you thinking people are fucking thinking about you? They're not. And the ones that do, they don't give it a few seconds of thought. So be more you. Literally lean into your personality and do the things that scare you in life. And when you do this, you're gonna practice your carefreeness, and you're overall gonna become more magnetic of a person, and more people are gonna want to talk to you. So, sub-communications combined with fitness are the two fucking things that transformed me into who I am today. This was so fucking important to me because, again, not many people talk about this side of the aspect of being confident. It's your non-verbals, and these are something that you have control over. You have control over your body language. You have control over the way you talk. You have control if people give a fuck about you or not. Or if you give a fuck about what people think. You have control of your vision. You have control of all of this. When you actually take control of your non-verbals and you just really think about your sub-communications, and you combine this with you looking amazing, you liking the way you look, it'll transform your fucking confidence like nothing else. I don't care. More than meditation, more than affirmations, more than any self-help book you'll ever fucking need. These two things are what transformed me. And I know if you try these two things for yourself too, and you actually made these two things more of a priority in your life, your confidence is gonna fucking blow out of the water compared to anything else that you've tried. So this video is long enough as it is already. This is probably my favorite video that I've ever made, to be honest with you. So if you have any questions about this, you have any comments about this, you let me know. But this is, again, what worked in my life. And if you want to accept it into your reality or not, the choice is yours. You don't have to listen to me, but this is my experience. But if you're a guy or a girl that's looking to become way more of a confident person, out of everything that I've tried, these two things are what worked for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more content like this.